Jessica Pegula gives verdict on Eala's presence and value for tennis. Jessica Pegula added another title to her collection last night, beating Alina Svitolina to win the Dubai Tennis Championships. Pegula came through a tough week to finish on top, overcoming an in-form opponent without too much trouble. But while the 31-year-old American took home the title, Alexandra Eala had already made her mark earlier in the tournament. Eala once again drew large crowds wherever she played, and her impact was felt throughout the week. Her influence even reached into Pegula's press conference after the final. Jessica Pegula says Alexandra Eala's rise in tennis is different to anything she has seen. Asked about the Filipina teenager who has been making headlines with her growing following, Pegula spoke positively about Eala's influence. The world number 5 highlighted how impressed she has been by Eala's maturity and composure, saying, "Yeah, Alex is amazing. The way she's been able to pack stadiums and the way her country supports her is something special. She handles it so maturely with such grace. She seems so appreciative of all the support she gets. Always seems to have a good head on her shoulders and a good attitude about it. It's amazing. I played her when she kind of broke out last year in Miami. I'm from there. The whole crowd was against me. I was like, what on earth is going on? Where did these people come from?" Week after week, as she has done well and established herself as a really good player on tour, they all come out to support her. I think we saw that in Australia, when it was kind of overcrowded, they put her on too small of a court. We saw it here. You can hear it from the hotel. You can hear the crowd roaring at night. It's incredible. I think it's awesome for what she's doing for the sport. She's a perfect role model for it. I'm sure she wants to inspire girls, Filipino girls, to play tennis and go after their dream. It's awesome for the sport. Yeah, it's really, really cool. I think we just had a tournament there that she played." Coco Gauff and Jessica Pegula have similar praise for Alexandra Eala. Even though Eala has only been on the professional tour for just under a year, her impact is already turning heads across tennis. Her fan base is not just large, it is among the most passionate in sport, and it seems to be getting louder with every tournament she enters. Pegula noted that one of the most impressive things about Eala isn't just her growing popularity, but how calmly she handles the weight of expectation from so many people looking to her for inspiration. Coco Gauff noticed that same composure during their recent match, saying afterwards, "I'd like to thank Alex for bringing a new demographic to the sport. I really appreciate it. I think it's great. I know sometimes it's tough when you're playing against a home crowd, but I think that it's great for the sport, so keep being enthusiastic and keep rooting for your player." Jessica Pegula's verdict on Alex Eala, a reflection on presence, potential, and the pulse of tennis. When Jessica Pegula steps to the microphone, poised, confident, and thoughtful, the tennis world listens. On tour, she's one of the game's most respected figures, a champion of athletic excellence, mental resilience, and consistent performance at the sport's highest level. So when the question about Alex Eala is raised, about her presence in women's tennis, about her value, about what she represents, Pegula doesn't flinch. Instead, she offers a verdict that does far more than praise a rising star. She offers context, nuance, and a conversation about the evolving heart of tennis itself. First impressions, beyond results, toward resonance. Talent is easy to spot, Pegula begins, leaning in as if sharing a quiet but sincere observation with the world. But what Alex brings goes past talent. It's the way she carries herself, humble, hungry, curious, that makes people take notice. Pegula's tone isn't casual. In a sport defined by margins of error, endurance, and belief, she's recognizing something intangible. Eala hasn't just filled a slot in the rankings. She's grabbed attention for reasons that numbers alone can't capture. For Pegula, presence is about more than results. It's how a player enters a stadium. It's how she engages with fans and competitors. It's how she absorbs pressure and turns it into growth. Eala, Pegula says, does all of that with remarkable grace. 2. The weight of representation. Jessica Pegula knows what it means to carry expectations, from sponsors, peers, and especially from home. She understands how athletes become symbols, especially when they represent nations and communities historically underrepresented at elite levels. Alex has already done something bigger than wins on tour, Pegula reflects. She's made young kids, especially from Southeast Asia, believe they can aspire, and not just dream. Here Pegula's verdict becomes cultural and collective. She doesn't reduce Eala to her nationality, yet she celebrates the impact that nationality has on visibility. For Pegula, representation isn't a token. It's a bridge between possibility and reality. It's a language that speaks beyond sport. She calls it a kind of quiet revolution. 3. The competitive edge, more than potential. Critics have sometimes framed young players solely through the lens of potential, as if they are unfinished works waiting to be completed. Pegula pushes back on that sentiment. In tennis, she says, potential becomes meaningful only when a player starts contesting, really contesting, at higher levels. Pegula sees in Eala a willingness to compete fiercely, yet without fear overshadowing confidence. She recalls matches where Eala battled to the last ball, showing intensity, focus, and adaptability. This is what signals readiness, Pegula argues. When you don't just show up, you belong in moments that test you. By this measure, Eala's presence isn't symbolic, it's competitive. For what the tour needs, fresh energy, fierce focus. Pegula steps back from talking about one player to offering insight on the state of the women's game. Tennis thrives when there's conversation about the next generation, she says. Not just predicting who will succeed, but why their style or story adds value. According to Pegula, Eala's value is multidimensional. She brings a fresh rhythm. She encourages global engagement. She embodies a blend of tenacity and joy. She carries both humble roots and high ambition. What keeps the sport alive, Pegula notes, is not just the winners, it's the storytellers on the court. And Eala, to Pegula, is a storyteller. Learning from other cultures, a global game. Pegula, American-born, trained across different surfaces and having competed worldwide, understands tennis as a global ecosystem. She speaks often about how cultural context shapes a player's approach, resilience, and perspective. Describing Eala's upbringing, practicing under varied conditions, traveling internationally from a young age, absorbing different styles, Pegula highlights how this kind of experience develops adaptability. Adaptability is one of the biggest competitive assets a player can have, she says. Alex's journey already shows that. Pegula doesn't just admire her, she respects the global fluency she represents. 6. Value beyond rankings. Influence, inspiration, investment. Rankings are a snapshot, a number that changes weekly based on results. But Pegula's verdict on Eala's value goes beyond the scoreboard. Influence,